In November 2012, on Thanksgiving Day in 2012, an American photojournalist working in the Middle East went missing. James Foley had covered war zones across the Middle East for the news agency Agence France-Presse and for the news website Global Post. But in 2012, while covering the raging civil war in Syria, he was kidnapped. At the time, there were other instances of Syrian rebels and terror groups operating in the region, abducting foreign journalists in exchange for ransom money. But when James Foley was kidnapped, it was essentially radio silence from his captors. A full year after his abduction, James Foley's father told Agence France-Presse, "We haven't been contacted by anybody asking for anything. No ransom requests." The Foley family created a website asking for help finding their son, appealing for any information about his whereabouts. But this American photojournalist, James Foley, he had been missing for more than 600 days. When today his image appeared in a video posted on a website connected to the terror group ISIS. The video is far too graphic to show here. Nobody needs to see it for any reason. But it includes what appears to be the gruesome beheading of James Foley, and it describes his murder as payback, essentially, for recent U.S. military operations against ISIS in Iraq. Tonight, the White House put out a statement saying that they were still working to confirm the authenticity of the tape. But it says, quote, "If genuine, we are appalled by the brutal murder of an innocent American journalist, and we express our deepest condolences to his family and friends." The videotaped execution of a Western hostage is a tactic. It is a tactic that has been used a number of times over the last decade. It is intended to have a specific desired terroristic effect. In 2002, a Wall Street Journal reporter named Daniel Pearl was kidnapped in Pakistan. Mr. Pearl was later executed by his captors on camera with a threat that more abductions and beheadings of Westerners would follow. 2 years later, 2004, an American businessman from Philadelphia named Nicholas Berg was captured in the war in Iraq. Nick Berg, like Daniel Pearl, was later executed by his captors on camera, again with a threat that more abductions and beheadings would follow. This is a tactic. It is both murder and it is propaganda. In the video that was released today, the men who killed James Foley showed and named the next hostage that they say they intend to execute, another American freelance journalist who'd been reporting in the Middle East for Time magazine. This is a tactic, but it is also very much the grim reality right now for the family of American journalist James Foley and for the very concerned family of the other journalist who has been threatened. Just a short time ago, Mr. Foley's parents released a statement that says, in part, quote, "We have never been prouder of our son, Jim. He gave his life trying to expose the world to the sufferings of the Syrian people. We implore the kidnappers to spare the lives of the remaining hostages. We thank Jim for all the joy he gave us. He was an extraordinary son, brother, journalist, and person." James Foley was from Rochester, New Hampshire. He was a graduate of the Medill School of Journalism at Northwestern University. He was 40 years old.